Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back, and today I am bringing you guys breaking news out of the Los Angeles Chargers. Anthony Lynn is gone as head coach after 4 seasons, and I am going to tell you guys the best 2 candidates to replace him in the 2021 season. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content. I drop videos Monday through Friday, but because of the holidays, New Year's, and I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled out, I really didn't make too many videos last week, but I'm returning full-time now. Never slacking. Let's jump into the action. So Anthony Lynn had 4 seasons, 33 and 31 in his tenure with the Chargers, had some ups and downs with Phillip Rivers and the transition period to Herbert. I'm actually going to say after a putrid start, it looked like these players were really starting to play for Anthony Lynn. They were starting to get healthy again, get some of their best players back like Eckler. Keenan Allen was battling some injuries throughout the season, but for the most part, they played really well down the stretch of the season, and he should be commended for that and probably will get immediately at least a coordinator job. If not, maybe he will get another shot at a head coaching job somewhere else. But all the best to Anthony Lynn. Now, let's move on to the candidates that I think can actually take over. There are 2 candidates. I'm going to start with the first, Jack Del Rio, the Washington football team defensive coordinator for this season. Oakland Raiders head coach for 3 years, Jacksonville Jaguars head coach for like 8 years, 2003 to 2011 head coach. And he's been a defensive coordinator pretty much everywhere, a linebacker coach or a defensive coordinator and or a head coach. He's, done some really good things with some teams. He's had, multiple seasons where he had to rebuild a program and did it successfully, with 9 or 10 plus wins. Multiple times. He's done this in Jacksonville. So if you see Jack Del Rio's overall coaching record throughout the years as a head coach, 12-4 in 2005 with Jacksonville, 11-5 in 2007, and they didn't really have the best teams. They had some good offensive weapons. And then in Oakland, he went 12-4 with that amazing Derek Carr team, but they lost to the Houston Texans in the wild card game. And then the following season, they were pretty pathetic at 6-10, and that was the end of his head coaching career as we know it. But then this resurgence with Washington has been great. If you look at some of the Washington Redskins defensive stats from this season, they're actually second in the league with total overall yards allowed on the season. They're also 4th in the league with points allowed per game at 20.6, and they're top 10 in takeaways. They're actually number 9th in the NFL in takeaways this season. His defense is definitely performing. He developed Chase Young beautifully already in 1 season. This guy is like the vocal leader of the team. They said it last night. He's continuing to have sacks, forced fumbles, or fumble recoveries, just impacting the game with his strength and insane athleticism. But don't forget, Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera are the ones that are putting this defense in a position to be successful. Just some of the overall schemes that he is working are really showing to be successful. It's a top 10 defense in every way, shape, and form. I would say that they're actually a top 5 defense when everything is broken down. But yeah, Jack Del Rio might be a great fit for the Chargers because they do have Joey Bosa, another really good edge rusher. Someone that he can pretty much mold. I think Jack Del Rio, their offense is already amazing. You have Herbert, you have Keenan Allen, you have Eckler, Hunter Henry, Mike Williams. If these guys come back next year, your offense is set. You have a top 10 offense right when the season starts. All you need is to shore up that defense, make sure that the linebacker core maybe gets a little bit more depth. I think that Jack Del Rio can really coach up this defense, and that is the difference between winning and losing those close games that they were losing all these close games last year. I think with Jack Del Rio at the helm instead of Anthony Lynn, you're going to get way better defensive play calling, and then therefore on offense, just relinquish the duties to someone that knows offense. Get an offensive coordinator that can really call some plays for this kid, and I think that you'll be okay. Now, my second candidate for the job would definitely have to be Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, don't want to get too ahead of myself and say, wow, this guy's a real stud. It's like, think about it. He has Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, another slew of amazing receivers like Watkins and Travis Kelce, the tight end, and, Le'Veon Bell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, one of the best offensive lines in football. It's really not that hard to be a successful offense when you have the best quarterback in the league and all those weapons. When you have the offensive genius of Andy Reid putting this whole show together, yeah, you're in a nesting egg for success. But I think the reason why they would bring him over is because it's not like anybody can stop the Chiefs. But if you bring someone from the Chiefs to coach against the Chiefs, someone that knew the offense that they were running from a year prior, it's going to give you a little leg up, especially in practicing on the defensive side of the ball in weeks leading up to a matchup with the Chiefs, which is ultimately what this entire job comes down to is, can you beat the Chiefs? Can you beat the Raiders? Can you beat the Broncos? I don't think it's going to be tough to beat the Broncos and the Raiders in years to come, but I do think it's going to be really tough to beat the Chiefs for the next 5-10 years. So you need a guy that understands them. This guy clearly has an understanding for the Chiefs. He's going to bring an offense that's going to make Herbert, as I would say, he's going to go hard. He is going to ball out. This guy is going to kill this year. So in 2021, I see either option, whether it's Jack Del Rio or it's Bieniemy. You can go the defensive route where you already know that Herbert and the offense should be okay. He showed enough promise this year that you don't need to go out and draft a bunch of offensive players whatsoever or trade for any. You really want to focus on the defense. Then you go Jack Del Rio. If you want to just make this team like a, how do I say it, fast-paced, almost like an Arizona Cardinals or Kansas City Chiefs type team, bingo, you got Eric Bieniemy. You get an offensive coordinator that really understands how to beat your in-division rival. So that's what I think it really comes down to, guys. This should be a really interesting coaching hire. And to be honest, I'm really happy they got rid of Lynn because this team should have done way better than they did this year. And so anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this. Peace.